I don't know where else to start other than Los Angeles.
How can we not talk about the shit show that's happening in LA right now?
Los Angeles is burning yet again.
Chaos erupts here in LA County. Widespread immigration raids triggering protests from Paramount to downtown. And tonight, an unlawful assembly has been declared as President Trump announces he will be deploying thousands of National Guard troops here to Los Angeles. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
It's like a fucking bottle rocket RPG.
As the cop cars were going by, they were sitting there and grabbing these fucking rocks, these big boulders, and throwing them at fucking cop cars.
I saw that.
And the ICE vehicles.
Yeah.
As they're like,
can't be doing that.
Yeah. And there's like people have like bottle rockets going. I don't know what the fuck is happening, but there was a lot of shit going on. That was just some of it. Like I could have packed it with a lot more footage. I'm like,
and it's still happening. What's today? Day 4 or something like that?
Day 4, they just sent in the Marines.
Yeah. They sent in 700 Marines.
Shout out 27.
2,000, I think it was, National Guard.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So Mayor Karen Bass, she got on
this
TV.
Idiot.
Yeah, we've gone over her shit in the past, her shenanigans. But she got on and said, hey, I want you to know that Los Angeles is mostly at peace right now. I'm paraphrasing. It's like, she's like, everything is mostly okay. And I've heard accounts from other people like watching the news, like most of LA is going about its business. Like you have to understand, like this is isolated to downtown. So it's not like the entire city of Los Angeles is on fire.
Sure.
But this is happening in downtown Los Angeles right now.
Mostly peaceful.
I haven't heard that one yet.
I have.
Have you really?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
I did hear
mostly peaceful.
One person, I can't remember if it was a comment, one of the people on CNN or not, but they were saying something up to the effect of they're getting these people who are just sitting there having fun watching things burn.
Watching cars burn.
Yeah. I'm like,
you ever get together with your friends and just torch a car?
The wildest thing was them calling in the Waymos.
Dude.
Did you see
they
that?
called in like 5 Waymos.
Yeah.
And lit them all when they showed up.
So, okay, let's we can get to a different side of this, a conspiratorial side. Just break down real quick what's happening. ICE and DHS agents, they launched immigration raids targeting undocumented workers in LA's garment district.
And sorry to interject. To my understanding, they're not necessarily even raids. They were looking for specific individuals
probably
who were wanted for violent crimes. Is where this all started.
Well, even Stephen Miller was kind of, people have said he's been in there as like, doesn't care if they're fucking criminals or anymore. He just wants everybody. He wants more arrests, which is why they're ramping up these raids. But to your point, they're not just fucking busting into a fucking club and like, everybody on your hands and knees.
They might be now.
They might be now. But yeah, they are, like you said, a lot of times, and I'm not saying this is the case 100% of the time, especially now, but they were looking for, hey, Jesus Garcia, we know he's usually here at Home Depot in the morning looking for work. Let's go to Home Depot.
Yeah.
That kind of deal. So ICE and DHS were conducting these, we'll call them sweeps, not raids.
Mostly sweeps.
Mostly sweeps. And they're going in, and I guess like word had started to spread. This is in Paramount in LA, mostly Hispanic neighborhood apparently. And word was starting to spread like, hey, they're rounding up everybody. So people are getting pissed. And usually it's a lot of younger people that get pissed. They got the energy to get pissed.
Well, yeah.
And be out there in the streets. Hey, I'm 47. Like, I'm not out there in the streets chucking rocks at cop cars.
And I've noticed a lot of these people out in the streets, like, do you guys have jobs?
Mm-mm.
Why aren't you at work?
Well, to be fair, they were trying to get work at Home Depot, and then they were chased, they were chased out of there.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, the protests break out in the fashion district in Paramount. Protesters are chanting all the fucking things that they always do. Federal agents come in with pepper spray, tear gas. Not even federal agents for the most part. To my understanding, most of what is being done there is by LAPD. Like,
at least at first, for the first couple days.
Yeah, like they were, like the feds were there to back up. The National Guard has been hands off to this point. They were basically just protecting the federal building there and any other federal agents. They were just there to like, hey, we are here. We're not going out in the crowd. We're not doing riot control or anything like that, right? So they mobilized the National Guard, all that. You mentioned how many people there. They were blocking the freeway, the 101 freeway. They're blocking that shit. Again, doing what they always do, which is, God damn it, man. I'm just trying to go to work. I'm trying to go home.
Yeah.
Do I need the freeway blocked?
I feel bad for the regular people Like they're blocking
Right.
freeways,
Yeah.
they're blocking streets. It's like, come on, you guys.
I say this right now, and
Come on.
this happened with probably the BLM protests, mostly peaceful protests back in 2020,
Yeah, 2020.
where they were blocking freeways. People were getting their cars fucked up, their windows broken. Like they're just trying to fucking go to wherever they're going. And they're
Yeah.
getting interrupted by these mostly peaceful protesters. Especially, I remember a lot in California, the Bay Area, that happening quite a bit. And like, this is now why I carry extra ammo with me.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want my children and my wife subjected to this, like, possibly life-threatening situation.
Well, what worries me, dude, is so we're on day 4 of this, and so far no one's gotten killed. But I was talking to Jordan about it this morning.
It's kind of amazing, honestly.
It's pretty impressive. We were talking about this morning how in 2020, when the BLM riots were going down, the administration was different. Now you have a president who's not afraid to whip his dick out and throw it on the table and be like, all right.
He wants to. He's been.
I kind of get that feeling.
I think he was. Now we'll start going towards the more like trying to get in Trump's head and conspiratorial side. I think this is exactly what he wants.
At least maybe I hope that it's not what he wants to like hurt people, but maybe he wants it to like prove a point of, listen, motherfucker.
I don't like Gavin Newsom. I'm going to shit on him and Karen Bass.
yeah.
I'm going to shit on California the second I get a chance. And number 2, this is a great time for me to, again, whip out my dick and enforce my immigration policy. Look what's happening in Southern California. We need troops. We need more enforcement. We need Palantir to step in with all the fucking data collection.
But to be fair, the government of California is not doing themselves any favors. I'm not one of those guys who's like, well, you need to come out and condemn the violence. Like, I think that's all bullshit.
Yes.
But Newsom and Bass, they're not helping the situation, because you had Bass out there saying, we're going to protect all Angelinos, whether they're here legally or undocumented. We're all one people, and get out there. And she's encouraging it. You're not helping. And to me, it seems like there's a good chance that both sides are kind of fanning the flames here, just to kind of, because the Democrats
want a political
Trump,
moment.
Right. The Democrats want Trump to mobilize the military and kick everybody's ass and violence and the shit. And, oh my God, it's authoritarian and all this other shit. And Trump wants the Democrats to let the city go to shit so that it looks good for the Republicans.
Well, another person who really wants this, because they're ramping up their run for president, is Gavin Newsom. Because now he looks like he was on TV like talking a lot of shit. You want to arrest me? Because he was talking about Tom Homan. You want to arrest me, Tom? Come do it. I'm just tired of this. I'm over
Tom
it.
Homan will do it, dude.
He probably would. But I mean, I don't know if you're getting
That's
away with
another
arresting.
thing, because I've thought of, I really hope they don't. I mean, at one point, like, if you're impeding the federal government from enforcing federal law.
I don't think they are, though. I don't think they are.
But if they start to do that, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of talk about it. Then you could get arrested. But at the same time, I don't want them to get arrested, because that's bad optics for the other. Like, nobody wins here. Nobody wins.
I think this is a great time for Gavin Newsom to flex and say, hey, look how, I've been standing up to Trump. I've been on record standing up to him this whole time. So when it comes time for him to get elected, like, he's the clear candidate. Like, hey, I'm the guy that's going to put a stop to this, even though he's been a fucking snake on so many issues. It's awesome to see how he's fucking shedding his skin now and turning into somebody completely different.
Yeah.
They fucking defunded the healthcare for the illegals there, because that's a popular thing now. So he got rid of that, even though he was the one that instituted it. Or you could just play devil's advocate and say, like, yeah, I did that and I saw that it was a bad idea, so we repealed it. Hey, I'm not above saying I was wrong.
I've got some more interesting footage of this.
Please show.
Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
This one. So here, I'd like to point out.
Kid walking around with a skateboard, never a good thing.
The van that they're burning is a Telemundo van. You can't make this shit up, dude. But like, I have questions. Like, how does this help your cause?
I do want everybody to see that breaking a window is much more difficult than you think it is.
Fair point. Fair sidebar. This one here, these are those Waymos you were talking about.
There's like 5 of them.
And so another thing, from a firefighter's perspective, you know how much toxic bullshit you guys are releasing into the air, environmentally friendly California and all that shit? You know how bad one of these car fires is for your area?
I don't know this. Maybe you do. Are Waymos electric?
I thought they were.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, because we went to the facility in downtown and they're all plugged in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I
don't know at all.
I'm pretty sure they're electric.
I don't know. Somebody out there fucking drop it in the comments.
They also are looting the Jordan store.
Of course there's going to be looting. Of course.
So Come on down to LA, stand up for the immigrants, and steal some shoes. I mean, you're always going to have people who take advantage of a situation, but like,
of course, they're
looting the Apple store, they're looting the Jordan store.
Again, this does not help your optics. The biggest one that I saw was the guy on top of the burning Waymo waving the Mexican flag. I'm like,
not good.
This looks so obviously bad for your side. It almost feels to me like a Fed.
Well, speaking of feds,
that's what I had a Fedy feel.
Speaking of feds, here's where it gets crazy.
Okay.
Here's somebody who captured.
Why are there always pallets of bricks?
Pallets of cinder blocks being dropped off overnight. Just pallets of cinder blocks.
Well, it's got a purchase order on the side. I wonder if somebody can zoom in and find that.
Here's footage. I'm going to mute this. Here's footage of a pickup truck pulling up, and eventually it'll zoom in here, but they're handing out these big boxes. Mm-hmm. In those boxes, grenades, face shields to protect from pepper spray.
Yeah, like where's that?
Who's dropping these off?
Now, I'm not somebody that thinks that every one of these things is completely funded by George Soros and the fucking, all those people. I don't think that. But at some point when this is kind of almost like a CIA playbook thing when they go in to overthrow a government. Like the CIA by itself can't overthrow a government. But if they know there's a group of opposition that has a chance, and they're like, hey, what do you need to maybe take over the country?
Do it all the time.
Like, hey, I probably need $5,000, some grenades and this. I'm like,
pallet of bricks.
Like, well, here you go. Here's the pallet of bricks. They fan the flames. So maybe this is kind of that situation. They see that that's whatever, peaceful protest had
mostly peaceful.
Had a little bit of legs, and they fanned the flames. They're like, hey, this is happening anyway. Well, let's drop off the bricks.
And let's say, because that's a discussion there is who's helping, right? And so part of me,
the face shields is weird.
It's weird.
Bricks could be like, okay, there's a construction project, but the face shields,
you're dropping off shields to protect people from mace and tear gas.
Where's that coming from?
And who's buying it?
Right.
Now, it could be some dickhead who's got $5,000 to burn, and he's like, I'm going to order all these face shields on Amazon. He drops them up. In my opinion, dude.
But we all know it's a Fed.
Probably. But even if it's just some civilian buying these shields and dropping them off, you should probably get in trouble for that. I feel like you're not allowed to give people supplies to go burn down a city and resist arrest and all that shit. Like, I feel like you're not allowed to do that.
I don't know. Like I told you last week, like I'm in my conspiratorial phase of life. I've hit that season.
Welcome.
I mean, I've always had a little bit of that, but like everything now seems to be like it's got some angle. And so when you start going down this rabbit hole of who did this and why, you're like, dude, you can splinter out in so many different directions. It's fucking mind bending.
Is filled with joy. I can see your hat starting to turn into tinfoil.
It's getting a little crunchy.
Oh, I'm so excited.
But like when I see that, okay, the guy dropping off the bricks, like, okay, is this like a George Soros thing? Like, hey, let's fan the flames, let's do this. Or is this somebody from Trump administration?
Could go either way.
Or is this somebody from the deep state saying like, hey, we don't like Trump, we want him out. So like, hey, here's some bricks. Like, make
regardless, it's somebody.
It's somebody.
Who the fuck is it?
Who
do you think? Comment below. Smash that like button.
Which one of us is actually right? Actually, I don't think we're arguing on this.
Fucking ridiculous, dude.
Who?
But, unfortunately, it's getting to the point. So we're in day 4. I don't see it lightening up before it gets worse. I don't think it's going to get any better until people start really getting fucked up out there.
Well,
and that sucks.
Here's the thing is you now brought in the Marines, 2-7s, a light infantry battalion. That's a problem. Like if you're out there as a protester, like, do you really want to see if they're going to do anything? Well, I don't.
We were at the station yesterday. We were on YouTube watching kind of man on the street style interviews with protesters. Yeah. And it seemed to me that a lot of people are just kind of out there for the meme. Like a lot of people are just out there fucking around.
Right.
And, let's see if we can get law enforcement to react. And they're throwing something and running away and coming back, throwing something and running. Like, what are you doing?
That's young kids. Like
get a fucking job. What are you doing?
Get a fucking job, kid.
Get a job.
Get a fucking job.
But, and so it sucks because I don't want anybody to get hurt. But and for me at least, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we now have a city on fire. And
again, Los Angeles is always on fire.
Fair enough. Nothing different. But the time that it's on fire, it's because people are out there protesting the law being enforced. And I get it. Like, again, I get it.
Yeah.
If you don't, and I don't necessarily think that our path to citizenship is awesome, right?
Right.
And I would also be willing to explore, like, if a family's been here for 30 years, they've established, they've you know,
like, come on, dude.
Like, maybe there's a good gray area, middle ground. Maybe we could fast track them. I get it, because I don't think we should uproot 40 years of family. But like, how about these fucking assholes who came over last year and they're wanted for XYZ crimes? Can we at least find some middle ground and kick them out?
I think one of the things that really was popular amongst a lot of people, myself included, when you're talking about deporting people, like, I don't want the guy that's been here for 30 years who has a job, has a family. I don't want him gone. He's a productive.
He's contributing.
Side note, one of the way they're finding some of these people, you talk about like criminals and things like that. Let's say Hector has a job. He's been paying taxes for the last 20 years, but he's here illegally. I know where Hector is because he files taxes every year. We're going to go get Hector and kick him out. Like, I don't want that dude gone.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I feel like there should be some sort of middle ground, but like, can we at least left and right, can we at least kick the violent people out of the country? No. Can we at least agree?
You're asking left and right to agree on something.
That the guy wanted for sex crimes against children should be deported.
How old is the kid, though?
Does it matter?
Some people, I think
12.
So. Is that a minor attracted person?
Like, oh, geez. Well, it is LA.
That's what I'm saying. There's some people.
They are a fucking protected class out there.
That's why you get a lot of these people that will never agree with you on shit. Shit that seems common sense to you and me, like get rid of the pedophiles.
Well, and
what
baffles me, honestly, is so we were watching these man on the street interviews, and they'd go out there and just, it was that all gas, no brakes. If you ever, I fucking love that guy. He's hilarious. But he'd go out there and just ask questions like, what are we out here protesting? And they'd be like, well, we're protesting Donald Trump and his authoritarian rule. And, okay, so what is
Be specific.
What is he doing that you don't like? Well, he's threatening our democracy and this, that, and the other thing. And okay, how is he threatening the democracy? Well, he's deporting the people that are here illegally, and it's just a threat to their freedoms. And so it really gets me thinking. I don't think that these people are that stupid. I honestly think in some way, shape, or form, somebody has brainwashed them.
Sure.
Because I don't think they're dumb. I think they believe in what they believe in, but they can't tell you why.
Well, do you remember I think way back to last year with the protests at Columbia over the Palestine movement deal?
Not necessarily, refresh me.
Well, they were having at Columbia University, there was like protest sit-ins. They apparently took over a building, things like that. It was the Free Palestine going anti-Israeli deal.
Sure.
And they were same thing, kind of it wasn't man on the street. It might've been New York Times or something like that, but they were interviewing people coming like, hey, what are you here to protest? Like, I don't know, but we got a text message saying to come down here. Like, so yeah, to your point, like you don't know why you're here. You want to do something. You want to be involved. You like some people think like this kind of thing is, the Civil Rights Act of their time or the Vietnam of their time. And maybe it is. So they just want to feel like they're a part of something.
Well, and people on the right are just as guilty. I've seen people at Trump rallies. Well, we gotta stop Kamala from taking over the like. It's both sides.
Your shit stinks too.
This isn't anti-left. It's not anti-right. It's like how about we all just pause, take a deep breath, and let's sit down and have real discussion with each other. I feel like that's dead right now. And clearly it leads to civil unrest. Clearly. Can we not just sit down and have an honest conversation? Can we not find middle ground, or are we there is no middle ground anymore? That's what scares me.
The thing is, I think between the vast majority of people, there is middle ground. There is room for conversation. There's room to give and take on a lot of these issues. But the problem is people to the extremes on both sides are what get the views. They get the clicks. Yeah. So they get the loudest voice in society and media as a whole. So that's what you see. And you think like, well, I got to pick a side.
Well, and I think that the powers that be take advantage of that. I think
of course
the people in power, the politicians, I think they know that 80% of America has middle ground and just wants to just have a good life and raise a family or just live the life they want to live and be left alone. But they know that the 20% you can whip up into a frenzy and create excuses to make more power grabs and to pass more strict laws.
You always hear people talking about politicians playing to their base, and their base is the loudest, most vocal, extreme parts of the party. And that's who they play to, because those are the people that show up at rallies. Those are the people that always show up to vote.
Those are people that are paid to show up at some rallies and to protest.
Some person commented last when you said like, oh, well, it's a jobs program and they get fired from the government, then they get to go protest. Someone's like, hey, in what fucking world do you think that they're being paid to do? Like, what evidence? Are like
this one.
I'm like, dude, it was sarcasm. Lighten up. He's like,
calm down.
And he's like, sorry, it's just in this given climate. And I mean, this is kind of the guy we're talking about, like the people that are getting weaponized by this mass hysteria. He's like, sorry, I didn't understand the sarcasm, but in this climate, like I'm in no mood to calm down. Like, okay.
Put your phone down.
Right.
Go touch grass. Dude, spend time with your family.
That's the thing is like people, you're so worked up over a social media comment of a couple jackasses talking about politics. Like, come on,
fuck us.
We do this.
Cares what we say?
We do this for fun and like
calm down.
You get informed or think about something a different way in the process. Fantastic, but we're just having fun.
Why are you gay?
Calm the fuck down,
Why?
dude.
Why?
Speaking